Every step sinks into the wet ground, as if the earth itself is trying to hold them back. Branches scratch at their skin, but they do not stop. Behind them, there is only silence, but silence in a place like this is never safe. It always means something is close enough to not need sound. Far away, a faint light flickers between the trees. It is not natural. It feels wrong, like it does not belong in this world. The runner slows for just a moment, breathing hard, unsure if they should move toward it or away from it. But fear makes the decision for them. They keep going deeper into the dark. The forest changes the further they go. The trees grow thicker, the shadows darker, and the air harder to breathe. It feels like the path is no longer leading out, but leading in, as if the forest is building a trap, piece by piece, just for them. A memory flashes in their mind, a voice, a promise that was made long ago. It is unclear, broken, like a dream that refuses to stay whole. But it hurts enough to make them hesitate again, just for a second. That second is dangerous. Somewhere behind them, a branch snaps. This time, it is not silence. This time, it is real. The runner turns their head slightly, but sees nothing. Only darkness between the trees. Still, they know they are not alone. The feeling is stronger now, like unseen eyes pressing against their back. Watching, waiting, they start running again. But the forest feels different now. The path seems to shift, as if it is alive. Every direction looks the same. Every shadow feels familiar, but none of them offer escape. Up ahead, something hangs from a tree. It sways slowly in the wind. Not a warning sign. Not a natural object. Something personal. Something that should not be here. The runner slows again, unable to ignore it, even though every instinct tells them to keep moving. The forest grows quieter, but it is not peace. It is expectation. Like the entire world is holding its breath. And in that silence, the feeling becomes clear. This is not just a place they entered. This is a place that has been waiting for them. The deeper they move into the forest, the more it feels like time itself has started to break apart. The path behind them is no longer easy to see, as if the trees slowly close it off, one step at a time. What once felt like escape now begins to feel like a slow disappearance into something unknown. The air becomes heavier. Not just cold, but thick, like it is filled with memories that do not belong to the present. Every breath feels like it carries something old inside it. The forest is not just surrounding them anymore. It is pressing in, watching how far they are willing to go before they turn back. There is no clear direction now. Only movement. Only survival. The ground shifts under each step, uneven and uncertain, forcing hesitation where there should be speed. Even the smallest sound feels too loud. A falling leaf sounds like a warning. A distant bird call feels like a signal far ahead. Light breaks through the trees in small, broken pieces. Not sunlight in a natural way, but scattered brightness that feels misplaced. It does not guide them. It confuses them. Every time they think they are close, the light shifts, moving further away like it is playing with their hope. Inside their mind, memories start to surface without warning. Faces they tried to forget. Words they never answered. Choices that were never fully made. The forest does not just surround the body. It reaches into thought. It pulls the past forward like it was always buried just under the skin. Their pace slows without meaning to. Fatigue is not just physical. It is deeper. Emotional weight begins to settle, making every step harder than the last. There is a feeling that something important has already been lost, even if they cannot name what it is yet. A faint sound echoes between the trees, not clear enough to identify. It could be movement. It could be wind. Or it could be something closer than expected. The uncertainty is worse than truth. It forces the mind to imagine too much, to fill the silence with fear. They stop for a moment, not because they want to, but because their body forces it. Breathing is uneven. The chest rises too fast, then falls too slow. The forest does not rush them. It has patience. It always has time. When they look around, every direction feels identical again. No landmarks. No safe markers. Only repetition of trees, shadows, and distance that never seems to change. It is like being inside a loop that refuses to end. Then something shifts. A small detail that should not have changed. A broken branch that was behind them is now in front. A sign that the forest is not still. It is rearranging itself quietly without being seen. A new feeling rises. Not just fear, but awareness. The sense that they are not simply being followed. They are being guided. Every wrong turn, every pause, every hesitation is part of something larger. The forest does not chase loudly. It does not need to. It waits until the mind begins to doubt itself. Until the body starts to believe that stopping might be safer than moving forward. And in that growing silence, the truth begins to form slowly. The forest is not losing them. It is learning them. The weight of the forest begins to feel different once fear stops being sharp and becomes constant. It no longer spikes and fades. It settles, like it has always been there, and only now is being noticed properly. Every sound feels closer than it should be, even when nothing is visible. The person keeps moving, but not with confidence. More like habit. Survival becomes less about direction and more about refusing to stay still. Stillness feels dangerous now, as if the forest punishes it. Every pause invites something unseen to get closer, even if nothing is proven to be there. At some point, the idea of being alone starts to break. Not because someone appears, but because loneliness becomes too structured to feel natural. It is too complete, too shaped. Even silence feels arranged, like it has been placed carefully between the trees to guide thought in a certain direction. A memory returns again, but this time it does not feel like the past. It feels unfinished. A conversation that was never fully heard. A decision that never reached its end. It presses into the present without warning, making it hard to focus on what is real and what is remembered. Far ahead, a shape appears near a cluster of trees. Not fully clear, not fully still. It could be a person, or it could be something standing in a way that only looks human from a distance. The body reacts before the mind decides. A pause, a hesitation that stretches too long. The shape does not move. It does not approach. It simply exists in place, as if it has been waiting without effort. That stillness is more unsettling than motion would be. Because motion has intention, stillness suggests certainty. Slowly, the distance changes. Not because either side is moving quickly, but because neither side is willing to fully retreat. The space between them becomes a kind of pressure, tightening with every second that passes without explanation. The forest around them feels more aware now. The wind shifts without pattern. Leaves fall in directions that do not match the breeze. Even the ground seems less stable, as if it is reacting to tension rather than geography. The figure finally steps slightly to the side, revealing just enough to confirm it is human, but not enough to feel safe. There is recognition in the posture, but not clarity. It is someone who should be known, but the context is missing, making familiarity feel like a threat instead of comfort. No words are exchanged, not because there is nothing to say, but because speaking feels like it would break something that is already fragile. Instead, silence stretches between them, heavy with everything that has not been explained yet. The mind tries to fill the gap. It searches for meaning in posture, in distance, in the way the figure avoids direct approach. Every small detail becomes a possibility. Every possibility becomes a risk. A step is taken forward, then stopped halfway. Not out of fear alone, but out of uncertainty about what stepping forward even means anymore. In a place like this, movement does not always lead to progress. Sometimes it leads deeper into confusion. The figure shifts again, this time slightly turning, as if ready to leave. That movement creates more tension than confrontation would have. Because leaving without resolution suggests choice, and choice suggests control that is not understood. A part of the mind wants to call out, but the voice does not come. It feels blocked, as if the forest itself is pressing against expression. Even thought becomes heavier here, slowed by something unseen but constant. The moment stretches longer than it should. Time does not feel linear anymore. It bends around hesitation, making seconds feel incomplete, like they are waiting to be resolved by an action that has not yet happened. And in that suspended moment, the connection between past and present feels thinner than ever, as if one more decision could either restore it or erase it completely. The forest stops feeling like a background and starts feeling like an active force. Every part of it now seems involved in what is happening. The trees are no longer just standing still. They feel positioned, like they are placed to observe, to block, and to mislead at the same time. The space between them is no longer empty. It feels filled with intention. The silence changes again. It is no longer just absence of sound. It becomes structured pressure. Even breathing feels noticeable, as if the forest is aware of it and measures every inhale. The world around becomes sensitive to the smallest disturbance, turning simple movement into something that feels exposed. The figure seen earlier is no longer the main focus. What matters now is the sense that